So you may be wondering what kind of superpowers am I going to be talking about in this video. In this video, I'll be sharing 5 superpowers that most of us might have. However, the spiritually gifted ones may feel a little bit more, okay, and they're a little bit more advanced because they carry it from their past life in their karmic memory into this life for them to use it for the beneficial of themselves as well as for the people around them and for the universe. Okay, but before I head into the topic, Namo Adesh, my name is Garret. My mission as a life coach and a law of attraction coach is to help people realize their infinite potential by tapping into spirituality, the law of attraction, and feng shui. I'm very blessed to be trained under a Himalayan yogi who's taught me the ways of the yogic teachings as well as spirituality, which is the whole umbrella of life. Okay, before I head into the topic, please make sure you guys hit like and subscribe, and make sure you comment your learnings in the comment section below. It's also always nice to know where you guys are tuning in from, and also it's also nice to know if any of these points or any signs that I mentioned in these videos, if you are experiencing any of this, just comment it below and also let me know. It's also nice to connect. Okay, so without further ado, let's head into point number 1. Okay, so what is most common in spiritually gifted people, right, is that they are able to see visions of the past as well as the present. It may even be, for most advanced ones, they are able to see the future before it happens. Okay, so I would say the experience is a little bit just like deja vu for most people that might experience. But it's like you may have suddenly, when you're not doing something, you're not doing anything that is very focused, okay, you may suddenly experience some form of vision or thought that comes into the mind that happens out of nowhere about your past experiences. Okay, it may be out of random, some kind of thing, like maybe you suddenly recall this friend that you haven't contacted for a while, and that this friend has shared a very intimate moment with you that has changed your life in the past. Okay, suddenly you haven't contacted, but this vision suddenly came into your mind when you're not thinking about it. Okay, so this may be one of the common signs. Okay, it may also be visions of the future. Okay, maybe even be the vision of the present. When I say about the present, is perhaps something that is at this moment, okay, that you felt like it's a very strong vision that you saw that this similar moment, just like deja vu. Okay, this is similar to deja vu. So you clearly understand that this thing has happened. However, when you're here at this point, it did happen. Okay, so it's a deja vu kind of moment. It's hard to explain on this point. However, it's just like deja vu. Okay, so when we talk about experiencing visions of the future, okay, so it's clearly being able to foresee the future, which is very, very beneficial. Okay, so maybe you may have set certain plans, however, you may have sudden visions of seeing this future may not turn out as good as what you think, so you change your path, or you change your decision to go ahead with this plan. So this is a very clear and advanced sign of a spiritual power or spiritual gift among spiritual gifted people. Okay, so point number 2 or sign number 2 is having the sixth sense. So in the Bible, okay, the Bible, they call it the discernment. Okay, so discernment is basically discernment of the spirit, the soul. Okay, so what do I call a sixth sense? So it's more of like an intuition or a gut feeling. Okay, it's something that you can't explain. Is it coming from the gut, or is it coming from the stomach, or is it from the heart, or where? You can't explain where is it coming from. Okay, and this feeling is particularly super strong whenever you go into a space or you go into an environment. You just feel there's this inkling feeling that's telling you that something is wrong in this space, or something is wrong with this person. There's something that is not normal. Okay, but you just can't seem to explain what's wrong. So when you go into the space, especially when you feel that there's some energies that is in that space, okay, so that's where you need to be very, very you need to take very special care, because if you are spiritually gifted, however you are not using your gifts for any beneficial use, or you haven't fully learned how to utilize this power for the greater good, okay, or haven't used it for even for your own benefits, okay, then you need to take very special care, because whenever you are able to sense energies, the energies can also sense you, okay, knowing that you are able to sense them. So that's where they will start to want to connect with you, okay, be it good or bad, okay. Respect all kinds of energies. So remember that, okay? So it is one of the signs that you are spiritually gifted, okay? So when you are able to detect the environment, or have a specific detection of the environment or the feel of the space, or even certain people's emotions, that's where you fully learn how to utilize your gifts, okay? Next, we talk about dream interruption and continuation, okay. So this one is a very beautiful gift that my colleague Hillary has, okay. So it's a very simple thing, but it's not easy at times as well. We can all utilize this gift, however it takes a lot of practice, okay. So certain times where you're sleeping at night, then suddenly you, of no reason, you suddenly wake up. So certain people might wake up, okay, out of no reason, but those that wake up out of no reason are the specially gifted ones. However, those that are able to wake up and yet be interrupted already, they perhaps maybe somebody woke them up, then they go to the toilet, or they go grab some water, then they go back to sleep again. And when they go back to sleep, they're able to continue the dreams. So having continuation of the dreams is a very amazing gift, because why you're able to continue the journey. Because when we say we continue dreams, we call it dreams. People name it as a dream because we got no other word for it, and we can't explain the experience of dream. That's why we label it as dream. However, if you were to know deeper in spiritual practices, you understand that dream itself is a different dimension that you're traveling into, or it may be a different you, or a higher self of you, a different version of you in a different dimension, showing you signs, trying to connect with you, okay. So you are actually continuing the lessons or the journey in that dream dimension, okay. So having the ability to be interrupted, yet having the continuation after the interruption, that's a very amazing gift, okay. So point number 4, able to self-pick up from a nightmare, especially those really accurate ones, okay. So what do I mean by that? So you perhaps may have dreamed of certain incidents, okay. So you may have dreamed of something bad that's gonna happen. There's a nightmare, something like maybe a plane is gonna crash or somewhere, okay. You think of something like that, and you know that you're about to go on this holiday, and you're about to take the plane that's gonna be crashed. So you suddenly woke up from it, okay. Is you're able to wake up from it, not due to the fact of fear, okay. You're able to just snap yourself out of that dream, okay. You woke up, okay. So what happens is most people, they'll wake up because they are too afraid of it, then they'll get a shock, then they'll wake up. Those are not the advanced ones. So the advanced, more spiritually gifted people, they are able to wake up gently and witness that they are having this nightmare, okay. And most often the time, the next morning or the next following X amount of time, they realize that this nightmare is happening, or has happened, and they are fortunate to realize that it hasn't happened to them, okay. So I found this particularly more obvious in my partner who has this gift, okay. So yeah, it's one of the advanced gifts that spiritually gifted people might have, okay. So sometimes is when this kind of incidents happen, especially when you have a nightmare and specifically quite intense in that nightmare, it's better that you wake up in a state of fast. What do I mean by a state of fast? So make sure you practice fasting, do more spiritual practice like prayers, chanting, and make sure you practice meditation, yoga, and so on and so forth. Increase your level of spiritual practices, especially if let's say that nightmare is pretty intense. Like take for instance just now what I mentioned is like a plane crash, so on and so forth, and you mentioned that you avoided this kind of situations, it's better that you go into a state of water fasting. So depends on how intense the dream is or the nightmare is. You can fast for 3 days, 5 days, 7 days of water fasting. So it depends on how intense that dream is. So if perhaps maybe it might have it might have saved your life, then you might want to do a longer water fast so that you learn how to tap on this spiritual knowledge deeper and understand what's the message trying to tell you and help you in terms of guidance. Okay? So the last point which I would like to mention is waking up at the most powerful hour, most divine hour, which is 3 to 5 a.m. in the morning. Okay? Some more spiritually advanced people with spiritually gifted ones, right? They might just feel some tap, or they might feel some inkling feeling that something, they just feel it and they just wake up on no reason. They will just suddenly wake up on their own, not with the help of an alarm clock or somebody waking them up. No. It's they can feel something waking them up. It's like an energy trying to wake them up. Because why? 3 to 5 a.m. is where everyone is more asleep. Okay, everyone is asleep. So when everything in the world during this hour is asleep, especially in your country, everyone is sleeping in this most quiet moment. That's where spiritual energies are high. That's where most people most people who believe that there's guardian angels or there's spiritual guides, most people who believe in this sort of entities, they say that this spiritual divine hours is where they start to collect all the thoughts and wishes, and that's where they will actually come and see whether that person is deserving of that wish and thoughts. Okay, that's where the manifestations actually take place, you see. So when you're a spiritually gifted person, you will wake up at this most divine 3 to 5 a.m. hours. Okay, and most spiritual people, or there are people that are going through spiritual awakening, will embark on this 3 to 5 a.m. journey, definitely, for sure. And if it might happen for just a period of time for some, but for some, they will just continue experiencing 3 to 5 a.m. until they are able to understand their journeys. Okay, so 3 to 5 a.m. is something that is very, very divine. So it is a very important moment, especially when you wake up at 3 to 5 a.m. and you receive some form of message, and you go into meditation. Once you receive in the meditation some kind of vision, some kind of message, you are terribly gifted. Okay, it's very important to make sure that you make use of this revelation, because when you make use of all this revelation, it is going to help you tremendously in your life. Okay, so when you know all these videos and from my video, and you learn all these 5 points, right, and you know of that you might have all these spiritual gifts, or you might have 1 or 2 of them, nonetheless, it's normal to not freak out. Okay, don't freak out. Okay, know that you have all these powers and how you can actually learn to actually develop them further and to make full beneficial use for your own good. Then you're able to help others. That's the ultimate goal, is using this gift to help others, and how you can be beneficial for universe and mankind. Okay, so with that, I hope you've learned something from the video, and if you do, please make sure you comment your learnings in the comment section below. And if you do have any of these signs that's happening to you right now, make sure you also share whether you are experiencing 1 or 0.2, 0.3 or all of them. Okay, so it's always nice to know where you're tuning in from, so also comment where you're tuning in from. Okay, with that, I end on my video. Namo Dash.